Hiya, and welcome back to Sileo, Tales of a New Dawn. The game that teaches us that... Let's think for a minute. The game that teaches you that licking your best friend is a-okay as long as it was gay. Anyways, I cannot think of anything else to say. There will be a lot of, blackout moments in this video. In this stream or video, whichever you're watching it on. I'm almost certain of it. Hiya! I'm almost certain of it because NSFW content is coming up. And I'm, genuinely scared shitless right now. So let's just hop right in. Alright, everybody get over here. I'll give you all the rundown. I'd been called in along with many others to help Lucas to fulfill a big contract to do today. Lucas's team was comprised of his key personnel, including Dom and Eric, as well as a bunch of new faces I hadn't seen before. No doubt some of those Lucas had on call, much like myself. The group of us assembled before Lucas as he delivered our instructions. The client today is a good friend of mine, and we've been tasked with catering for a stall he will be opening at tonight's festival in town. We're going to be preparing a large number of food items in bulk. Nothing too difficult, but it needs to be right. I'll be splitting you all into teams, and each team will be responsible for a specific item. Most of the supplies you'll need are in the kitchen already. As for the remainder, I've got a delivery coming shortly which will contain everything we're lacking. Any questions? There were some murmurs from amongst the crowd, but nobody piped up with anything substantial. Lucas began calling people over to assign them to their teams and give them their individual instructions. It's Golden Day, a local holiday commemorating the day that gold was first struck in the local mines many years ago, in case you were curious. I was. Nobody had mentioned this to me. I had no idea. Geez, Diego's slack, isn't he? Then again, he's no doubt helping Ty with the festival preparation, so I suppose it's just another workday for him. Or perhaps with the awkward conversation from the previous night he didn't have a chance. Something Lucas had said prior had caught my attention. I decided to ask Dom about it. Hold on, Lucas said close friend. Are we catering for Ty? Bingo! He doesn't have the staff to prepare this much food. Each year, Ty recruits Lucas to prepare a lot of the easier stuff while Ty and his workers handle the signature dishes. That makes sense. Okay, next up is Eric and Aiden. Well, that's my cue. Knock 'em dead. If it ain't Aiden, looks like we're teammates today, buddy. Huh? Did I miss something? Oh no, nothing at all. Honestly, I'm surprised to see you back at work so soon, Eric. How's the foot? Psh, it was barely a scratch to begin with. Don't worry about me, big man. If you say so. Our client prefers his burgers on homemade buns. He's gotten quite a few ready as things stand, but he's going to need a whole lot more. That will be a responsibility for today. Here's his recipe. It's a little unorthodox, but follow to the letter and you'll manage. Burger buns, and here I was expecting a challenge. To the letter. Okay, Eric? Of course, you can always count on me, you know. I could hear Lucas's teeth grinding together from where I stood as Eric took the recipe and made his way into the kitchen. Between just you and me, please keep an eye on him and make sure he doesn't screw it all up like he did with the stage lights. No problem at all. Thanks. Now get to work. I'm on it. I caught up with Eric, who was already assembling the ingredients on the counter. Well, ain't I glad to be working with you again. I decided against telling him Lucas was having me keep an eye on him. Instead, I just nodded my head in response. Flour, where's the flour? Over to my right, I saw a cupboard filled with ingredients. On the top shelf was a bag of white flour. I grabbed the bag and placed it on the counter in front of Eric. Ah, there's the flour, thanks. Oh hey, I've been dying to ask. About? Any progress with, what we talked about the other day? I suppose in a way there had been progress, what with the events of the previous day. Oh yeah, totally. He's totally going to do something. What with the events of the previous day and the night before that. Given the context of the situation, however, I wasn't sure I really wanted to fill Eric in. Oh, come on, you promised. Actually, I didn't. Come on. I felt as though Eric would nag me until I finally relented. I suppose there was no harm in telling him, assuming he kept his mouth shut about it. Okay, but it's between us, okay? Yes, tell me everything. I recounted to Eric a redacted version of the previous day and the evening that preceded it all, deliberately leaving much out, including details from my conversation with Ty, as well as some of the more embarrassing moments from the night prior to it. Nah, no way. You can't tell me you both got super drunk and then get all vague about the details. What is there to say? We drank a lot, talked a lot, then fell asleep. I didn't want to tell him about the licking. Oh god, how embarrassing. Like I said at the beginning, it's a-okay to lick your friends as long as it was gay. You're blushing. What? No, I'm not. Quiet down. Everyone's looking. True enough, several of the workers had heard Eric's outburst and were looking our way. No way, you're totally blushing. Spill your secrets. God damn it, I couldn't really deny there was more to the story. I had little choice but to fill him in. Well, I might have licked him a few times. Where? Shh. On his cheek. And his chest. The goods? What? No, I mean, I didn't get that far. Aw, spoil the fun, why don't you? I can't help it, I fell asleep. What? While licking him? Yeah. You're such a dork. Shut up. Thankfully, the conversation was interrupted by the sound of a doorbell. I could only assume it was the delivery Lucas had mentioned. A shaman hadn't rung moments earlier to interrupt the awkward conversation. I saw Dom enter the room and head to the back door of the kitchen. He opened the door, revealing none other than Axel carrying several large plastic crates full of groceries. He entered the room behind Dom and placed the crates on one of the tables in the center of the room, before noticing me and wandering over to greet me. Hey Aiden, they roped you into helping with the festival prep too? That they did. Wouldn't be much of a festival if nobody set it up, right? Ain't much of a public holiday when you have to work it though. That's true. Sorry, but I can't stay and chat. I've got more containers to bring in, and then a whole ton of deliveries after this. No problem. I'll come with you and take some of your load. Oh! Yes, please, Dom. Insert sex joke right here. Dom headed out the back door of the kitchen while Axel, dazed briefly, snapped back to attention and hurriedly followed suit. He's gonna take some of his load. Wait a minute. I saw it. He was totally blushing. Shh. Once again, his loud mouth had attracted attention from around the room. Sorry. You're right, though. He's got a real craving for some fox talk. What have I done to deserve this? The two of us continued preparing buns for the festival with casual chatter happening between us. I had just placed our final batch in the oven when Lucas came over to check on our progress. How are the buns coming together? I think you'll agree that we're amazing. I'll be the judge of that. Lucas inspected a batch of buns cooling atop the counter. He picked up one of the buns, inspecting it at every angle to ensure it was up to standard. I'm shocked. These are actually really good. Triggered. Hell froze over. Triggered. Lucas is smiling. I repeat, Lucas is smiling. Something went wrong. A subtle grin washed over Lucas's face. I, too, was shocked, but for different reasons. After all, this was the first time I think I'd ever seen Lucas smile. Beside me, Eric practically had stars in his eyes, his gaze transfixed on Lucas's smiling face. Well done, both of you. Finish off the batch that is cooking and lay the buns out on the trays. You're then free to go. Alright, thanks, Lucas. Did you see that? What, Lucas smiling? Yeah, you have no idea how rare that is. For you, maybe. I'm willing to bet money that's the first time you've seen it yourself. Well, yeah, but that's not the point. He's so handsome when he smiles. Oh boy, here we go. Eric spent the remainder of our shift swooning as we finished off our work and headed our separate ways. The festival would be starting soon, but I had some time beforehand if there was anything else I wanted to do. I am genuinely terrified. The sun had only recently set and I found myself battling the crowds in the midst of the festival. The main drag was blocking off the traffic and the streets were filled with stalls on either side serving food or selling merchandise. There were so many people out and about, I had found it hard to keep track of where I'd been and where I had yet to go. Nonetheless, I set about my goal by heading in a single direction, checking the plaques on each stall as I went. It wasn't long before I found a sign that read Ty's Kitchen and Bar. I made my way over to it, skipping the crowd lined up at the front and off to the side where I could see a small opening in the side of the stall. Sure enough, I spotted Diego in the back, flipping burger patties and placing them on some rather familiar-looking buns. Diego! Aiden, what are you doing here? Came to see you, of course. How's business? Busy. It slowed down a little, but I'm still working real hard. Aiden! What a pleasant surprise. Hey, Ty. Hope the burger buns are up to scratch. Oh, Lucas had you working on my buns, did he? I saw Diego smirk a little. Thank goodness Eric wasn't here. That would have made things so much worse. Fuck it. Just fuck it. Hang on. Let me open up Photoshop real quick. Actually, it would have been a better idea to use paint or Piskel. Yeah, let me get out of this loading for that, and I'll show my display real quick. Yeah, it's just casually dying right now. The stream's just casually dying. Don't worry about it. It does that all the time. Import, browse images, show all files, let me find it. Extracurricular activities. Yeah, motherfucker, get out of here, Photoshop. Art, character, Darius. Base. Create a new layer. Actually, no. If I hear another joke, I swear I'm gonna fall out of my chair. No, I'm just trying to create Darius right now. Recreate Darius right now. Just the simple stuff. Let me hang on, this is actually really hard to do. Why did I think this was a good idea? Why did I think this was a good idea? QR. Fuck, he needs a belt. Why is this a thing? Jesus Christ, get out of here, Photoshop. Ah! I'm not even going to put him in shoes. Face. There we go. Let me just insert sex joke here. There we go. Perfection. Okay. Worry not. They are as exceptional as I had hoped. I am sure Lucas would have not let them out of the building were they not. Glad to hear it. I assume you are here to see Diego? That's right. Diego, I think we can handle things from here if you would like to go and enjoy the festival with Aiden. What? Are you sure? We're still so busy. It is fine. You have been working all day. You deserve the time off. Your assistance has been most appreciated. Well, if you're sure... Most sure. Oh, and please take these from my Please take these with my compliments. Ty handed us 2 boxes each containing a burger. I cannot expect either of you to pay after all of your hard work. Yes, free burgers. Thank you, Ty. You are very welcome. Now go, enjoy yourselves, and be sure to have a little extra fun for me. You got it, boss. The 2 of us made our way through the crowds, taking bites of our meals as we walked. Once or twice we narrowly missed having them knocked from our hands, but Diego was both insistent and very hungry after a long day's work. Show, where to? I don't know, this is my first time here. What is there to do? And swallow your food before talking. Well, there's a bunch of attractions, like carnival-type stuff where you can win prizes. There's the one where you put balls in the clown's mouth. Yeah, just refresh the page so I get a better idea of what it is. Hang on. Let me, like, go back one. And... Nah. I'm not gonna do that. Be evil, don't be an asshole. Man, I had to deal with Eric this morning, and now I have to deal with you too? Oh, you got stuck working with Eric? I pity you. You're almost as bad. Sorry, I know. Anyway, there's also the game where you shoot the metal ducks. That one is always fun. Last year they had a really cool gaming console as top prize, but I wasn't a good enough shot. There's a few others, but those are the ones with the best prizes. What do you think? Which game should we try? Which game should we try? Activate Fallout of Chair.exe. Let me try clicking on that. What does that do? Oh, it just opened up. Did you actually fall out of your chair? Oh my god. Shoot some ducks. But no, did you actually fall out of your chair? Like, are you alright? Oh, hello. Let's shoot some ducks. I'm game. We arrived at the duck game where Diego began looking over the prizes. Oh my god, I am so sorry. Look, it's the same console as last year. Are you gonna go for it? Damn right. Diego paid the line behind the counter and in return was handed 6 small pellets, the first of which Diego loaded into a rifle. On the back wall, there were 6 metal ducks across several rows moving back and forth. Interestingly, the console required 7 ducks to win. Hey, why does the console need 7 ducks when there's only 6 rounds? Oh, there's a red duck that comes out once per game. It only swims across once, so you have to be ready for it. If you hit it, you get an extra round and it counts towards your total. Ah, I see. Diego raised his rifle to his shoulder and aimed down the sights. Took a deep breath and pulled the trigger. Hit. Nice one. Diego loaded another pellet into his gun and took aim for a second shot. Another hit. Damn, Diego, you're good at this. Diego reloaded once more and took down a 3rd duck. As he began reloading, a red duck emerged and began swimming rapidly across the back wall. Oh shit, quick Diego! Diego double-timed it, jamming another pellet into his rifle and quickly... and quickly raising it to his shoulder. By the time he did, the duck was almost gone. Diego rushed his shot and missed. Shit. Diego was not successful in winning the prize, but he did get a small bag of chocolates as a consolation prize for still managing to hit 5 ducks. Stupid duck got the better of me. My turn. I paid the line and got my pellets. Loading my rifle, ready for my first shot, I took the shot, hit. Okay, let me open up this window. The performance metrics. It's closed. Reloading, I scanned the field for any sign of a red duck. Nothing yet. I shot at another duck. Hit. I reloaded my rifle and scanned the field carefully once again. Still nothing. But it struck me that it was about this point that the duck appeared for Diego. What should I do? What should we do? I waited another 10 seconds or so. The duck still did not appear, so I took my third shot. Hit. I began to reload, and sure enough, the red duck came swimming out. I pressed the pellet into the rifle, closed it, or rather, I tried to. The rifle had jammed. Oh, no, 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 no. I fussed with the rifle, trying to correct the position of the pellet so they would close properly. Success. I closed the rifle and raised it to my shoulder just in time to see the red duck swim away. God damn it. I finished the game with a score of 6. Close, but no cigar. You did really well. What happened with the rifle on the red duck, though? I think the pellet wasn't in quite right. The rifle wouldn't close. Oh, that's a real shame. Should we go and do something else now? Yeah, let's. The two of us began walking through the festival in search of something new to do. Hey, look at that ice cream parlor. Strawberry ice cream, only 99 cents per scoop. We should get some. Diego, we just had burgers. Huh? What's wrong? It's... Diego, look at ya. Dressed up all fancy and the like. Who are you trying to impress? This is my work uniform. Now what the fuck do you want? How rude. And here I am trying to be all friendly. Like hell, get out of here. And who's this? The raptor looked me up and down, his face contorted into a foul grin. A new boy toy already, Diego? Well, don't Joe work fast? Shut up. He's a looker. Wouldn't mind a turn on him myself. Diego's hands balled into fists. His teeth gritted firmly. Fuck off. What are you going to do? Hit me? Come on. You might be an idiot, but you're not dumb enough to try that. Go away. Leave him alone. Whatever. He began to circle around us, stopping at my side. He reached a finger under my chin, which I smacked away. You can do better than him, you know. You're much too good looking to be hanging around with a nutcase like Diego. Leave us alone. He chuckled and walked away, leaving the two of us stood in the middle of the street, processing what had just happened. Looking over to Diego, he was still frozen in the same position he had been when the raptor appeared, with the exception of a few tears running down his cheeks. I gently grabbed his arm and gave him a gentle pull, signaling for him to follow me, which he did. Nearby, there were stairs leading up to the forested hills of northern Woodcrest. I decided to leave him there, away from the lights and all the noise, where the two of us would hopefully be alone. Diego and I had climbed the steps up to a grassy field overlooking Woodcrest. The area had no lights, illuminated only by the soft glow of the moon and the glow of the city below us. I found myself a nice patch of grass to sit on and motioned for Diego to do the same. He sat down beside me. I can only assume that was your ex-boyfriend? None other. That was Kyrix. I'm sorry I ran into him. Don't apologize. It's not like you did anything wrong. I'm sorry. I was kind of ugly there. It all just makes me so mad. Yeah, it just happened. Why do I feel like we're going to get another extracurricular activities reference? Is this going to be like Coach's route, where it's a slow burn? I know, I understand. You don't because I haven't told you much about it. I should have, but I haven't. If you'd like to know, I think this is a good time to tell you. Only if you're comfortable with it. I wouldn't say comfortable, but I owe you an explanation at least, so I want to. By all means, please. Well, we started dating like, I don't know, not quite a year back. We met at the gym. I guess I was lonely. I had friends and all of that, but, you know, I wanted something more. And he paid a lot of attention to me. He was super upbeat and enthusiastic, would drop everything to spend time around me, feed me all these nice compliments. It was all an act. We slept together a few times, and I kind of thought we were involved to some capacity. I mean, he outright said so at one point. I know now he was just saying whatever he needed to say to keep me on the hook. God fucking damn it. I had to walk away for a minute. After a while, I don't know, he got bored of me, I guess. He changed. He didn't want to spend time with me anymore. Didn't really care to see me. Was always off doing his own thing without me. I guess it only made me feel more lonely. After a while, I figured out a method of catching his attention. If there was sex in it for him, he'd show. Wouldn't stay for long, wouldn't care to spend any time with me, but he'd show. And after a while, even that stopped, and I learned he was sleeping around with others. Hell, he was like the town bike in a sense. It sounded like everybody had had a ride. I started avoiding the gym, terrified of catching him in the act. Ignorance is bliss and all that. Before it all went down, I was training really hard. I was in great shape. I had a body like Ty's, believe it or not. Like I said, I stopped going to the gym, stopped training. Now look at me. In a way, he's responsible for how out of shape I've become, but I can't fairly blame that solely on him. I had alternative options, both everything that was going on. I struggled to find the motivation to do it. Anyway, I held on, like an idiot, missing the person he once was, the person he pretended to be at the beginning. I hadn't yet realized that person did not exist. I tricked myself into thinking he was still that person, somewhere deep down. But that's how he tricks people, you know? Lures them in with the act, gets what he wants, and then discards them when they're no longer useful to him. When he's grown bored of them, or there's nothing left for him to take. Over the time we were together, he said a lot of terrible and hurtful things to me. He put me down constantly, he insulted my hobbies and the things I enjoyed, and he manipulated the hell out of me. Anytime we'd fight, it was always my fault, even if I'd done nothing wrong. If he had nothing he could use against me, he'd change the argument to be about something else and call me stupid for not understanding that from the start. I felt so used, so worthless. I genuinely believed I was the problem and that he was right. I genuinely believed I was a horrible partner to him. I've never been mentally ill before, but with him I had frequent and crippling anxiety. They had me on these pills to try and straighten me out. They did nothing. I'm convinced that what I was experiencing was just symptoms of the relationship. Symptoms of how I was feeling. Since we split, the anxiety has stopped entirely. And the worst part is somewhere deep down, I knew all along. At the beginning, I remember thinking to myself, this isn't right. This isn't forever. But I guess I was desperate. I clung on for dear life regardless. Oh my god, I'm gonna start crying. I didn't want to have to be alone again. I wanted to be loved. I wanted someone that cared about me. For the longest time, I was convinced that he could be that person, but I was never more alone or unloved than when we were together. 3 weeks today, I went to the gym. 3 weeks ago today, I went to the gym, I saw him there, and I confronted him. I had a lot of time alone to process everything, to figure out just who he really was and what his goals were. I confronted him with all of it. And do you know what he did? He fucking smirked. Then he returned a few low blows of his own. Things I knew weren't true and that he was just saying to hurt me. Yet they still hurt. A lot. I cut him out of my life after that. Blocked him everywhere and on everything. It hurt like hell. I still loved him somewhere deep down, or at least that person he pretended to be. But I was done. I spent the following 2 weeks just existing. Ty let me have some time off paid to process it all, and he was a good ear to me. I could bleed to him, you know? He helped me haphazardly tape myself back together. Less broken, but still fragile. The wounds are still very raw, and it still hurts like hell. But I know that it's over now. I know that I can take the time to heal from it all, and that I'm out of that horrible situation I was in. And honestly, going back to work was the best thing for me. It kept me distracted. It didn't hurt so badly when my mind was busy with other things. But then afterwards I'd come home from work and just cry. And then you arrived. When I did, I had no idea anything had happened. You hid it pretty well. You were a wonderful distraction. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm rambling. No, it's fine. I really appreciate you telling me this. To be honest, I have been wondering about it. I'm sorry I kept it from you. It's okay, I understand. I couldn't imagine the pain Diego was feeling. After all, I'd never been in a situation like this. To think, my best friend of many years was dealing with something so awful. I was heartbroken. I felt a strong urge to just take him in my arms, hold him, hug him, protect him from people like Kyrex. I wanted to do everything in my power to help him heal. I wanted to make him happy again. I put aside my reservations and pulled him into a tight hug. He began crying once more. God. Fucking damn it. Hold on, let's just take a minute. Okay, I should be good for now. Is this okay? Diego brushed the tears from his eyes before he responded. It's all I've wanted for the longest time. I swear to God, I saw one scene from Adastra all over again. The one where you walk in and Amicus is drunk. And he just cries when you hug him. I swear to God, it's that all over again. I couldn't say how long we spent side by side on that hill. By the time we had returned to town, the festival was wrapping up and the crowds had already largely dispersed. Once we arrived home, we each retired to our respective rooms with nary a delay nor a word spoken between us. I closed my eyes and drifted off to sleep, hoping to put the tumultuous day behind me. This morning, I awoke and prepared breakfast for Diego as I had done previously. The two of us were seated on the couch side by side eating our meals together. Diego had been noticeably more subdued than usual today. I could only surmise our discussion atop the hill the previous night was the cause, or at least related. I understood. Even back then, Diego was never the type to talk at great length about his feelings or to show any weakness. He was larger than life, infectiously upbeat, and always seemed bulletproof. Far from the Diego I'd seen glimpses of over the past week, his facade was cracked, still holding together but occasionally exposing the soft center beneath. As much as I liked Diego back then, seeing him vulnerable made him less a caricature and far more real to me. I could better relate to his newfound sensitivity, even though it was the byproduct of trauma. I felt somewhat guilty about feeling that way, but I felt I better understood the inner workings of his mind and was better equipped to empathize with him than ever before. Consequently, I felt as though my connection to him had grown deeper. In a sense, it was something unspoken. Ty had revealed Diego's feelings for me in an attempt to prepare me for what laid ahead. Regardless of knowing ahead of time, that bond between us was something I could feel on my own. Despite the awkward circumstances, Diego's leg was touching mine as we sat side by side having breakfast. He didn't seem to mind, and nor did I. It was something that all those years ago would have resulted in one of us pulling away, perhaps in an awkward laugh or a gay joke, but now it brought me comfort, and I believed Diego felt the same way. These breakfast burgers are amazing. Why'd I never think of this? Diego took the final bites of his meal and laid his plate down on the table whilst licking his lips gluttonously. My phone was ringing. Gazing upon the screen, I noticed Ty was calling. An awful shame. Diego had the day off today. I didn't exactly want to be called in. Hello? Good morning, Aiden. How are you keeping? I'm good. Just finishing breakfast. What can I do for you? Well, this is something of an unusual request, but I was wondering if you could visit me at my house today. Huh? I wanted to talk to you about something. About Diego. I saw what happened last night. Is he present? It is probably best not to discuss it if so. Yeah, you're right. Either way, it would be most appreciated if you would pay me a visit. I've come up with an idea which may help, but I would like to share it with you first. Okay, sure. My address is 5 Alabaster Place. It's rather close to the Southern Bridge. Alright, I'll see you a little bit later on then. Until then. I hung up the call and looked up to Diego's expectant gaze, perhaps curious as to the context of the discussion. How's Ty, right? Did he call you in? No, he just wanted to catch up with me. Training related, I think. Makes sense. Usually doesn't work on Sundays. How strange. I guess he's making a special trip? Yeah, I guess so. Anyways, I'd better head out. Don't want to keep him waiting. Sweet. See you when you get back. Diego still seemed rather reserved and not his usual bubbly self. I didn't know what Ty had in store for me, but perhaps it was something that could help cheer him up? I had soon arrived at Ty's place, thankfully being not too far from Diego's. It seemed that was true of everywhere. Perks of a small town, one would guess. I confirmed the address I'd been given was right. Ty's house was quite fancy. I suppose it matched the bar and his usual outfit in a sense. Everything had to be classy. Which is why I was surprised when Ty emerged from the house. Not in his usual getup, but something unexpectedly casual. Father, apologies. Father, apologies. Father, apologies. Father, apologies. Ah, you have arrived. Good to see you, Aiden. Come in. The inside of his house was also rather fancy. It was upmarket with a rustic vibe, much like his bar was. Which of course only drew further attention toward his outfit. I was used to ties, vests, and button-up shirts. This was something else. Whatever's the matter? You seem transfixed. Oh, sorry. I just haven't seen you dressed so casually before. It caught me by surprise. While I cannot dress as a refined gentleman all day, every day after all, my days off I'm to be comfortable above all else. It makes a lot of sense, actually. So, what is it you called me here for? Ty prompted by my words, reached into his pocket, pulled out a folded up piece of paper, and handed it to me in silence. I opened it up and found it was a flyer for some sort of fighting tournament taking place soon. Well, what do you think? What do you mean? It's a competition. I looked over the flyer more closely. All combat styles allowed, $5,000 cash prize, entries closed. There was some sort of stain in the top right corner. I'm of a mind that Diego would benefit from participating. Diego? Really? I mean, he's definitely strong, but would he really be any good at this? He participated last year and made it to the quarterfinals. I would wager he is stronger now than he was then, so I expect he would do quite well indeed. Alright, but why do you think it would be good for him? It's not like he needs the cash. Excuse the change of topic, but I expect Diego has filled you in the following encounter last night. Yeah, he has. Well, Kyrix was not good to Diego. Among other things, Diego's self-esteem is not what it used to be. His self-worth is greatly lacking. I think if Diego were enrolled in such a tournament, it would give him a reason to train, which would be both a welcome distraction and a motivation to work on himself. In working on himself with the right support and encouragement, his self-esteem will improve. Not that this is not a universal truth, rather a specific response to Diego's own vanity. It may not be evident to you now, but Diego cares greatly about his appearance. Unfortunately, with everything that went on, this was allowed to slide, being one of many reasons for his lacking self-esteem. Now, I do not propose this is an easy fix. I doubt Diego will agree to participate without some encouragement, and I doubt he will stick at it for long without the right support. Furthermore, I know that Kyrix is a regular at the local gym. A perfectly valid reason why Diego would not wish to attend. I have solutions for each of these matters. I understand. What are your solutions? First, to tackle the gym issue. Ty reached into his pocket and pulled out a small wad of cash before handing it to me. What? What's this for? I would request that you use this money to buy some exercise equipment. That way, Diego will be able to exercise at home and will not need to brave the gym. Are you sure? This is a lot of money. Absolutely certain. You see, I will sponsor his participation in the tournament. Consider this something of a signing bonus if it helps you sleep easier. I guess, but hold on. The poster said the tournament was closed for new entries. Indeed, I wish to forfeit my own participation and offer it to Diego instead. You were going to fight? Of course, these muscles are not just for show, you know, but my involvement was strictly for my own amusement. I am certain Diego would stand to benefit from it far more than I. Which of course brings me to the other matter. Diego will need support and encouragement from someone he trusts. Are you offering to be his coach? Who, me? Well, of every confidence that I could, I would consider that a position best left for you. Me? A fighting coach? Have you lost your mind? Please, do not misunderstand. Diego knows how to fight. He may be rusty, but he can do it. All he needs is encouragement and support, and while I could certainly offer that, a better opportunity to bring the two of you closer together. Geez, Ty, this is a tall order. I understand. I expect you'll have your work cut out for you just getting him to participate. But he cares about you. He will listen to you as much, if not more, than he would me. I believe this will not only benefit Diego, but your relationship together too. And I suspect he may see this as an opportunity to impress you. Feeling the way he does, he would truly be mad to turn it down. What are you, Cupid or something? A peculiar-looking one, perhaps, but I do concede I enjoy watching the lovebirds flock. That aside, may I count on your assistance in this matter? I'll give it my best shot. I can't promise anything, but I'll try. Ah, lovely. I think Diego is most lucky to have someone like you by his side. I mean, hold your horses, we're not even dating. Perhaps not, but with the way things are going. Ty had filled me in on his plan to help rebuild Diego's self-esteem. It was an interesting tactic, for sure, but Ty always seemed to know far more than he let on. I figured the best move was to play along and see how things go. Honestly, it was peculiar just how invested Ty was in Diego's happiness. Ty had said Diego was lucky to have me, but at this rate, I considered him much more lucky to have Ty. Ty came across as somewhat of a guardian angel, working behind the scenes to support Diego and to help him find his happiness, and it seemed like I was an instrumental piece in Ty's plan. Not that I minded so much. Right? Not that I minded so much. After all, I wanted Diego to be happy as well. I had some time, if there was anything I needed to do before heading home. Which one? We have a side quest. Hydration. Don't worry, it's totally unhealthy. But it's also healthy because it's still water, it's just been yum-yummed first. Upon leaving Ty's, I checked my phone to find a recent text message from Axel. It read, "I'm bored, Dom's working. I'm gonna go swimming in the river near the North Bridge. Wanna come?" I hadn't been gone long yet, and I'm sure it would rouse Diego's suspicions if I returned home so quickly. It seemed a great excuse to take Axel up on his offer. The two of us arrived around the same time as one another and wasted no time getting in the water. Geez, I didn't expect it to be so cold. Well, it is fall after all. It'll be okay once you get used to it. Yeah, you're right. Anyway, I wanted to ask, how was everything? How's Diego after, well, you know. You saw that too? I was playing one of the attractions when I saw the commotion. I wanted to see what was going on. I didn't expect it would be you two, or rather, you three. Yeah, it was. Unpleasant, to say the least. It is! It's, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. It's a berry lemonade sun-kissed. It's still water. It's just been yum-yummed first. Diego was a little embarrassed and upset about the whole thing, but I've got a little plan in motion to hopefully cheer him up. Great, I hope that works out. It's been kind of sad recently. I'm glad you came along. Well, he's my best friend from years ago. It's the least I can do. It's so nice having a best friend. Dom and me, we... Look out, boys, I'm coming in. Huh? Suddenly, an unknown figure dive-bombed into the water between us, splashing us both with copious amounts of water. Who the... When the figure surfaced, it was none other than... Oh great, it was Eric. No. Hang on. Can I use the... Damn it, I cannot use the console. Okay, let me see if I actually can. Which preferences... Damn it, I can't. Okay. Howdy, boys. Hey, that was rude. Sorry, little guy. I just like to make an entrance. Well, you sure made one, but why? Where did you even come from? I was helping Lucas during the morning. After another short day today, so I was heading home. What do I see? If it isn't Aiden and the delivery boy taking a dip. I couldn't resist joining the two of ya. Oh right, you work for Lucas, don't you? That's right. So tell me, Aiden, where did something happen last night and you and your boyfriend might have been involved somehow? Eric, shut up! Boyfriend? What, haven't you noticed? Aiden is totally into Diego. You said you'd keep that a secret. Oh right, I did say that, huh? Sorry. So, Axel, how's things going with you, man? Hold on a second, I'm going to, like, hide this real quick and, like, check something. Good gravy, he's naked! He is. What? Eric, you and that fox Dom. There's definitely something going on there. As it would turn out, Eric was terrible at keeping secrets. And again, I found that hardly surprising. I don't... Aw, come on. He's cute, right? And you're cute, too. You'd be a perfect couple. I'm cute? Yeah, of course. I bet he thinks so, too. Axel was blushing like crazy and at a total loss for words. Come to think of it, Eric was practically his polar opposite. It made sense that he would be totally flustered by him. Eric, don't you think that's enough? I think you've made him uncomfortable. Yeah, habit. Sorry, still though, I'm serious. You two would be an adorable couple. Having enough of Eric's loud mouth, I lowered my hands into the water and hit Eric with the biggest splash I could muster. No, I'm dead serious. He is. Like, I probably shouldn't do this, but like, okay. See? Shorts. No shorts. Good gravy. He's naked. Okay, loud and clear. There was silence for a few moments as Axel stared down at the water while blushing madly, and Eric's eyes darted between the two of us frantically. Then he splashed me back. Cold! That's what you get. I returned a bigger splash, to which Eric just laughed at me. Come on, is that all you... His sentence was interrupted by another splash. We both looked over at Axel, who was grinning madly. Oh, now it's on. The two began frantically fighting a war between them. Axel's laughing occasionally turned into more of a gargling sound due to a mouthful of water. They exchanged blows for a short while before stopping and exchanging a strange look. What was that? What's going on? Together they both turned around and splashed me in unison. You will both regret that. I began splashing each of them with separate hands, trying my best to keep... Okay. So I bet you're all probably wondering why I did that. Yeah, so sorry for, like, kicking you all off all of a sudden. But, yeah, I called it. Let's just say I called it. Flush this. Yeah, I called it. After an extended water fight, the three of us retreated to dry land. Both myself and Axel had entered the water in our shorts, which we were now attempting to dry in the sun. Eric, on the other hand, well, he hadn't been wearing anything at all. Eric, you're naked! Well, it's not like I was prepared for this scenario. I didn't want to get my clothes wet. Axel was utterly transfixed and... I'm not reading that. Following Eric's departure, Axel picked up a bag of his belongings and pulled out a pair of glasses. I didn't know you wore glasses. Oh, well, usually I wear contacts, but I have to take them out before I swim. I see. Well, I can only apologize on Eric's behalf. Huh? Oh, it's alright. This was fun. Even with his dick hanging out. I mean, that was... Axel seemed to ponder for a moment. I didn't have my glasses on, but... I'm not reading this. Okay, I think it's safe. Yeah, sorry for, like, suddenly kicking you all off. Yeah, sorry for doing all that. But, yeah, I was, like, freaking out. Sorry, we're kind of working it out, I think. I don't want to rush things with all that's going on recently. I understand. If it works out for you two, maybe it'll work out for Dom and me, too. Maybe it will. I'll be rooting for you guys. Thanks. Anyway, I suppose I should be getting back home. I've got a busy day ahead. Alright, thanks for coming out. It's good seeing you. Good seeing you. But no, I fucking called it. He was butt naked. I fucking called it. Until next time. Diego, are you still here? Let me just... Oh, thank God. Huh? Yeah, of course. Sup? We're going out. Come with me. What? Where are we going? I want to go shopping. A little retail therapy, eh? Didn't know you were the type. Practically dragged Diego out of the house, forcing him to come along with me. We arrived at the sporting goods store where I made a beeline to the aisles containing home workout equipment. You're buying gym equipment? Weren't you thinking of signing up to the actual gym? I was, but knowing that's where, well, he hangs out, I don't want to. Oh, right. I guess I can't fault you on that. Say, you still have a membership, don't you? I mean, technically. I might make a little funny comic of Eric and Ty. He's a child of K. I would read that. I would religiously read that. Well, you know better than I would. How about you pick out what you think we'll need, and then we can just make our own gym back home? How are we going to afford that? I had some money aside, don't worry about it. The expression on Diego's face suggested suspicion. I wasn't a particularly good liar. Nonetheless, he decided against prying further and led me to a shelf lined with dumbbells. Well, we should definitely start with a set of these. A staple of every gym. Which ones? Well, there's a set here. They're a good price and come with a bunch of different weights. Or there's these. They're more expensive but more comfortable to hold on account of the grips and have a wider selection of weights. Okay, let's get those. Really now? $80 dumbbells? Yeah, why not? Smells fishy. You're up to something. What do you mean? I just appreciate quality goods. Painfully obvious excuse for a dirty joke aside, that's not like you. Fess up. I really hadn't thought this through. It was true, I was usually a little tighter on my wallet, but Ty's cash injection permitted me to spend a little more freely. Rather than argue the point, I conceded and pulled the poster from the tournament from my pocket, handing it to him. Huh? Woodcrest Combat Cup? I didn't know you'd signed up. I haven't. Well, you're gonna have a tough time. Entries are closed. Actually, I was more thinking you could participate. Me? Why? Heard you did pretty well last year. I think it'd be great for you. But the entries are closed. Don't worry, I've secured a place for you. If you want it, of course. Hold on. So this equipment we're buying. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to use it too, but... You're buying it for me? I don't know what to say. But, I don't know about this, man. I'm real out of shape, and there's like almost no time left to train for it. Come on, I think you'll do great. We can be training buddies. Not that I'll be participating, but it's a great excuse to maintain my fitness. That does sound kind of fun, but I'm way too fat for this. I guess that makes you harder to topple? You're actually not wrong about that. See, it's a great idea. I don't know, man, it's such short notice. Come on, you'll do great. And, you said you were going to find somewhere else to live, right? I assume you'd take the equipment with you? I'd forgotten all about my plans to move out. Honestly, being reminded of it kind of hurt. I guess with everything that had happened between Diego and I really didn't want to move out anymore. Sorry, I guess you'd forgotten about that. Oh no, don't worry about it. I just guess it hadn't crossed my mind for a bit. You can stay as long as you like. You know that, right? Hey, don't tell me that or I might stay forever. Yeah. The conversation suddenly got rather awkward. I figured it'd be best to change the topic. Anyway, will you do it? What, the tournament? Yeah, pretty please do it for me. I really don't get why you want me to so badly, but I guess I'll do it if you'll stop your nagging. Yay! No promises I'll do good though, okay? Gotcha. Diego still seemed unsure about the tournament, but agreed to participate, albeit unenthusiastically. So far, the plan was working. So, we're gonna need one of these benches, and a straight bar. I know it ain't boxing, but a punching bag and some gloves would come in handy. Ooh, kettlebells, and a mat. Oh, and in stark contrast to his tournament participation, Diego was particularly enthusiastic when it came to burning a hole in my wallet. I could practically see the dollar signs bouncing around in my head. I hoped what Ty had given me would be enough. We'd arrived back home with the delivery man in hot pursuit. After that, neither of us had a car, and we'd bought way too much heavy equipment to have any hope of getting it home ourselves. The delivery guy lugged our purchases inside between several trips, leaving them on the lounge floor. Once he'd finished, he waved us goodbye before returning to his van and driving off. Well, we definitely won't be needing the gym anytime soon. Money well spent, I'd say. Imagine how productive we can be working out from home. And it's 100% raptor-free, just the way I like it. I chuckled before I began assembling a pair of dumbbells and passing them to Diego. Huh? Me? Yeah, you. I want to see what you've got. That's very forward of you. Not like that, I mean... Oh, so you don't then. The look on your face. I'm just screwing with you, don't worry. You dick, you owe me 20 reps each hand, right now. Right now? Right now. Sir, yes, sir. Diego removed his shirt and began his repetitions, lifting each dumbbell in a horizontal position and alternating hands between reps. I knew he was still unsure about the tournament, but I was happy that he was at least playing along. If anything, all of this was a good distraction for him. Perhaps Ty was onto something after all. 1920. Alright, your turn. Me? You said you'd train with me. You can't chicken out now. He was right after all, but I'd loaded up the weights heavier than I was used to try and suit Diego. Come on, let's go. Which one? It would make sense to lower the weight. I was nowhere near as strong as Diego. Okay, so go for something challenging but not too extreme. Got it. I took a few of the smaller discs off, adjusting the dumbbells to a weight I thought would be appropriate. 1, 2, 3. Diego merely looked on approvingly, his eyes following my repetitions. He wore a big dumb smile on his face. It was kind of adorable. 7, 8. So far, so good. You're doing great. 12, 13. As I approached the end of my set, I felt a steady burn growing in my biceps. I'd chosen my weight well. 19, 20. Great work. How was that? Can't quite keep up with you, but I'd say that was a good workout. So what's next? I don't know. You're the beefcake. Been a while since someone called me that. How about chest press? Sure. Diego set up the bench and loaded weights onto the straight bar. He then laid down face up, held the bar just above his chest, and began his repetitions. 1, 2, 3. The same big dumb smile hadn't left Diego's face. He was enjoying this. I knew he was strong, but seeing his muscles flex as he performed the exercises was breathtaking. 9, 10, 11. With every repetition, the muscles in his shoulders became incredibly defined. His pectorals seemed to grow rock hard with each lift of the bar, and to think I thought those were mostly fat. 14, 15. To be honest, I'd never been more hot on Diego than I was in that exact moment. Seeing him genuinely enjoying himself and seeing, well, all of that. My heart was aflutter. 19, 20. Jesus Christ, Aiden, stop thinking with your dick. Think with your head for once. How's that? Amazing. Nice work, Diego. You liked that, huh? Of course. Maybe a little too much, huh? I looked down. It appeared I was pitching a tent. Aw, shit. 30. Diego placed the kettlebell on the ground next to him and climbed to his feet. I'd say that's a job well done for today, don't you think? Yep. My insistence on performing the same exercises as Diego was a terrible mistake. Nearly every muscle in my body was screaming in pain. You know, this was a pretty good idea. I had a great time. That's what I was hoping for. Thanks for this. I appreciate it. So we'll participate in the tournament? On 3 conditions. Oh, what are those? First is that you keep working out with me like this. Most fun I've had working out in nearly a year, maybe. Alright, deal. What was your second condition? Tell me where you got the entry from. They've been closed for weeks. Someone must have given up their spot. I couldn't really see how I could worm my way out of telling you at this point, but being conditioned for his participation, I figured it wouldn't hurt to clue him in, if only a little. Well, Ty might have given up his spot for you. Thought so, but it was his idea in the first place, huh? Don't worry. I thought it probably was when you first brought it up, and had all that money to spend on equipment. Sorry I wasn't honest about it. It's okay. Ty's always looking out for me like that. He's a good guy. Interesting that he'd ask you to help, though. He must think we're in... Hey, Diego, let's go get food. Now you're talking my language. Works every time. I had a little money left over from what Ty had given me earlier. As much as I opted to take Diego somewhere fancy rather than our usual fast food outings. Alas, being so new to town, there was only one fancy place that I knew of. Gentlemen, what a surprise. Huh? I thought you were off today. Ah, yes. Well, you know how sickness has been lately. Always happy to respond to the call of duty. Could have called either of us, you know. We were both off today. Nonsense. I'm sure the two of you had a most productive day. You both deserve the time away. Ty looked over at me and winked, not knowing Diego had figured out his plan. Diego gave Ty a nudge. Definitely. With all that training I'm doing now that I'm taking your place in the competition, right, boss? Oh, you know? I knew something was up. That poster has been conveniently popping up all over the bar over the last week. Imagine my surprise when Aiden presented me with the very same poster. I recognized the stain in the corner from when I spilled vodka on it. I should have known fooling you would not be so easy. I hope you can forgive my meddling. It's okay. And in Aiden's credit, he tried to keep it a secret. I'm just too good. Besides, I had fun today. Least I could do is give the tournament a shot, right? Well, it heartens me to hear you will. I believe you will do very well indeed. Anyway, what brings the two of you here? I'm buying Diego dinner tonight, a reward for his hard work and a celebration of him joining the tournament. A post-workout dinner. I'll be sure to add more protein. Do not worry, it will be my treat. Diego began salivating at the thought of additional meat. Shall I take your order then? Of course, I'll have... Following our meals, Diego and I began our walk home but decided to stop partway at one of the bridges to let our food settle before we made the rest of the journey. They have the macaroni virus. I swear to God, they have the macaroni virus. Hey, thanks for dinner, by the way. It's alright. You earned it. And I guess, thanks for pushing me to do this. Finding the will to do, well, anything, really. Has been tough lately. I know. It's been tough seeing you like that. I knew you were hurting even before you told me everything. I wanted to find a way to help you feel better. When Ty suggested the tournament, I was a little skeptical. I didn't know how difficult it would be to get you on board. Lucky I'm a sucker for a good workout, huh? You're a total sucker. Shut up. Still, today was fun. I hope we can keep it up. It was. Got to keep at it if I want to stand a chance at this tournament, right? And if I'm honest, there's nobody I'd rather have as my workout buddy. Same. Not that I'm participating, but I'm enjoying myself. And you know I'd do anything to help you, right? So you say. But you haven't even heard my third condition yet. Huh? Oh, right. That's right. Diego said there were 3 conditions, but only heard the first 2. Well, did you want to tell me? Yeah, Diego cleared his throat. Remember earlier at the sports shop? Yeah. I brought up you moving out? Yeah, that did come up. Diego went silent. I noticed he was looking at his feet, avoiding eye contact. Do you want me to go? No! Please. Please, don't go. I could see the beginning of tears forming in his eyes as he said it. I suspected this had been something that had been on his mind for a while now. I knew how he felt. I knew how I felt. I knew that if I had the choice, I would stay. There was nowhere else I'd rather be living than with him, than by his side, than with him. Then I'll stay, as long as you want me to. Diego couldn't form the words to respond. I was watching his face intently, so when his hand gently wrapped around mine, I was taken by surprise. Diego sniffled while giving my hand a gentle squeeze. I returned the squeeze, hoping that would speak for itself. It did, as a tearful smile spread across his face. Despite having known each other for so long, I'd never seen Diego this vulnerable. He was the type to act like a tough guy, his emotions always particularly well guarded. We'd been best friends for years now, but now I felt I was beginning to truly understand him, to comprehend the depths of his person, and to truly make a connection with him, not one of personality, ego, or friendship, but of heart. In that moment, there was nowhere I'd rather been, and nobody I'd rather been with. For such a simple moment, it felt magical, and I knew Diego felt the exact same way. The two of us sat there for some time, soothed by the sound of the river lapping at the shore below us. Finally, the two of us departed and finished our journey back home to retire for the night. And we're going to leave off here tonight. We're going to leave off here tonight. Like I already... I don't think much can be said. This is going to be a pain in the ass to edit tomorrow. But, anyways, that was quite a stream again. Fun as always. I try to, like, ham it up. Like, I don't know what I was looking for when I did the triggered thing when we saw Lucas smiling, which, like, deep fry sound meme or something. Yeah, this. RIP headphone users. But yeah, I can't think of anything to be said, but don't be afraid to not drink water because it's still water. It's just been yum-yummed first. Stay safe. Have a good night. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.